So I'll start off with cultural arts and recreation. Our next meeting is going to be at Casa Sanchez on the 6th of March. And do you remember what time it was?
At 6 p.m.
At 6 p.m. at Casa Sanchez on March 6th. So everybody for arts and recreation. So this is Faith and Immigration. So we got put on check in our group because the youngsters were like, y'all adults are talking about our lives and this and that, and what about us? So they're here and ready to report. But we won't do that because we're committed. We're going to move forward. Our next meeting is March 11th at St. John the Episcopal on 15th Street in Julian. And we're meeting from 6 to 7:30. We have some really good things cooking, and the young are going to be front and center, keeping us on check because it's about them. So thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time. And
thank you, diehards, for staying to the end. The next Health Committee meeting will be March 14th at 5 p.m. here at Everett. I think we have some really focused goals about healing and talking about restorative justice. We had a representative from the district attorney's office that made some very positive comments, and I think we're moving in the right direction. March 14th, 5 p.m. Everett Middle School. Thank you.
I'm glad you all stayed, and we were part of the education committee. We had a great time over there, and we came up with some powerful points that we do want to implement. One is creating a college-going lifestyle learning environment for our youth. Another is having a college night for our parents. We need to get the parents involved and help them understand what college is all about, right? Another idea, transitioning youth on probation and also youth who are undocumented so that they understand the resources, the educational resources that are available to them. We also talked about getting the OG homeboys involved in education. Without their help, you know, all of this may fall apart because many times the homeboys are the parents, de facto or not. Next time we meet is going to be Thursday, March 14th, here at Everett. Gracias, todo.
So the employment committee, is the next meeting date is the asset mapping subcommittee meeting Friday, March 8th at 1 o'clock at El Farolito on 24th Street. And then the job readiness and retention subcommittee, March 7th, 11 a.m. at Presida Center. And then the full committee will be meeting Tuesday, March 19th at noon at Goodwill Industries, 1500 Mission Street. And we had a lot of great conversation in this committee, and these subcommittees will continue to be working on a very specific strategy to, one, identify the 500 young people, and then those 500 slots that are youth-friendly, re-entry friendly, that are very specific to this population, as well as the supportive services.
So we were meeting in the housing working group. Our next meeting is going to be Thursday, March 14th at 6 p.m. here at Everett. And we'll be sending out that information. So we talked specifically about the different kinds of housing. One, and part of it was prevention, people being homeless and people not being excluded from housing. And the other part is how do we look at new housing opportunities. And all of this to help prevent violence, right? To help decrease violence and increase stability. With public housing, we talked a lot about the Back on Track program, where people can prevent getting an offense on their record, because a lot of people sometimes get kicked out of public housing because you get a one strike, right? So we want to, how do we work with youth so that they decide on the Back on Track program instead of pleading to an offense and getting then evicted from their homes, right? Another thing we talked about was educating community regarding available housing options. like, because the Mayor's Office of Housing renews their list every month, how to get people to know about below market rate housing, how can we have access to that housing? And then also we talked about working with like the SROs in the area, where like, how do we, one, work better, right, with the local DA and the police and also work with the nonprofit organizations that are running those places accountable, right, so if they're cleaner and they're healthier. March 14th, 6 o'clock here.
Good evening. The policy committee discussed once again that we will be gathering thoughts from all the different committees. There are many ideas coming together from different folks. Some policies that are already in place. So we talked about the fact of needing to present to folks which policies are in place that folks are raising as a concern. We talked about sort of 3 focus areas coming together, giving a review of all the different suggestions. One is sustainable funding for this work. So, for example, there's Measure Y in Oakland that sets aside tax money to pay for violence prevention on a regular basis, similar to how we have a children's fund here in San Francisco. So we're not fighting every year for money to do this work. The other is local hire, making sure that we have jobs, livable wage here in San Francisco, and that people that are going to hire locally get city contracts, for example. And then the third issue is trauma, addressing trauma and taking a look at how we as a city are addressing trauma, for example, in the school district with children, and how that impacts children being tracked, children being expelled and suspended. So that's connected with the education committee, I'm sure. But we want to look at in what ways can we use policy to address the trauma that impacts our community. So those are some of the things we talked about tonight. We'll be meeting soon, but we need to coordinate amongst ourselves by email to identify a date. March 7th? Thank you. March 7th, we're meeting. 6 o'clock here.
It's okay, it's all right, March 7th.
Okay, and we did identify an immediate opportunity to get involved in some policy-making discussions at the school board. They're talking about contracting issues, and they're being weak on ensuring that the school district contracts with people who are going to hire locally. Fortunately, there are a couple school board members standing up, and there will be policy members on March 12th going to that meeting to express that we are very concerned about that.
Great, thank you very much. I just want to remind folks, if you need a place to meet, you can use Everett Beacon, Mission Beacon. Just let us know, we'll find you a room. Alex, can you please close us out? And let's give a big hand to our youth MCs tonight, Alex and Paul.